Hi, my name is Mike from MD Motion, and this is the tutorial for the magazine promo template. So let's open up this guy, and what I want to tell you right away that is that Element may or may not be able to find the 3D models and textures used. So if that happens, you will get this. And what you need to do is simply relink the files to the folder where you unzip this project to, and which would be this one. So you just click yes, and just simply select the folder and relink. Alright, let's check out the project. If we go to the main timeline, we have a couple of layers, well, 3 actually. That's all about the background. You can of course put anything in here, that's up to you. We have some text layers and I actually prepared special shadow paths. I can show you. It actually looks kind of weird, but it makes sense when you watch it in action. So just adds some nice shadows when you page turn. Alright, we have a couple of element layers. I have this little guy that's controlling a bit of animation on the laptop. Things are going a bit slow here because of the screen capture, but you get the point. We have some input for the screen here. I'll show you in just a bit how to do that, and some more text layers, and we have kind of an outro here where you put in your own web address. Fade to black is kind of self-explanatory, I guess, and we have some audio stuff here. Okay, let's take a look at the project window. So whenever it says input here, that means that it's something that you want to be looking at. So text 1. If I open that, you can see that new magazine is this guy up here, and you can just type something else here. You can change the font, the color, and let's check number 2. Again, you can write anything here, and you notice that this is justified to the right as opposed to this guy that's justified to the left. And there's a good reason for that, because it kind of lines up with the edges of the magazine here. Okay, a bit more text, and well, let me show you this one too, because here's where you want to be putting in your own website address. Alright, now how do you get your own pictures or your own pages to show up on this magazine? Well, since we're using Element, you actually have to do that outside of After Effects. So if we take a look here in this folder, pages, I'm just letting you know about the aspect ratio here. But if you name your files like this, Element should be able to just simply find these and apply them to the pages. And there's a couple of reasons we're doing it this way, and let's get back to that a bit later on. Alright, what else? Well, as you can see here, I'm using the shy switch, and what that does is it actually hides layers for which that switch is set. So and when I click this, all hell breaks loose, because we get all these camera layers, and that's nothing special really. It's just camera shots, and it's just a really simple rig, and you can check out how I'm using them, or you can add your own cameras if you want. That's about it for the overview, I think. Yeah, and let's go a bit more into Element in the next part. Thanks. Well, almost. I forgot to tell you about this laptop screen input, and let's check that out. And as you can see, your input needs to be kind of HD. So just drop your stuff in here, and it's a real short comp, just a little more than 5 secs, but just put in a movie, put in a website screenshot, and animate stuff if you want. So there we go. Okay, I can tell you a bit about the Element 3D layers. As you can see, we have 2 of these, and there's a sequence for each of these guys. So we can look at that in a moment. But one very important thing that I want to mention is that when you open this project, both of these element layers will be set to draft. So draft or preview, but you definitely want to turn on the full render option here. So when you are rendering out, that is. So make sure you remember that. Okay, let's go into the scene setup. And I have a bit of there we go, sorry. So here's the magazine, and as you can see, I have all the separate textures here, and these textures are actually going to look at what's in the folder that we talked about before. So for example, this number 1 texture is going to look at whatever's in here. So that's why you need to override these in that external folder. Alright. So this is just some basic materials. I put a bit of reflection on there, and if you want, you can experiment with your own stuff. But that is pretty much it for this one. Just click OK, and let's take a look at the other one. I don't know what that's about. Okay, just a bit of trouble with the screen capture, I guess. So here we have another sequence, and as you can see, I have all the magazines again with their textures, and again they are looking out at the external folder here to find the images. But what's important about this one is that I have this sequence set to group 1. So hopefully you know what that means. And I have a bunch of layers here that's turned off, and that is actually the computer. So if I turn this on, you can see that it pops up under there, and you don't want that. So, and that will be obvious in a moment. But what I did is I actually duplicated this model. So if you scroll down, I have the exact same thing here. But this duplicate has been set to group 2. And in group 2, I actually disabled everything that has to do with the magazine. So what we have here is actually only the laptop. Okay, so that's about it. What does that mean? Well, if you remember, let me just fast forward a bit here. I need to find some magazine stuff. There we go. I have group 1, and that's for the magazine. For group 2, that's the laptop. And you can tell that I actually keyframed these two guys. So if we move forward in time, you can see here that at some point I'm actually hiding the magazine and unhiding the laptop. So that's how that was done. Alright. What else? No, that's about it. Well, almost, because I have a little null here. There's a little excuse me. There's a little bit of animation to this one. So it just kind of wobbles a bit, and well, just a bit of extra animation. I think that's about it. Yeah, let's go on in the next chapter. Alright, with element in place, sort of, I want to tell you how to retime this animation of the page flipping, because you may want it to go faster, or you want to spend some more time reading what's actually on the pages. But I'm not saying it's easy, but it can be done, because if I open up this, I'm pressing the U key, it will reveal all the animated stuff, and you can see that what I'm animating here is actually the playback speed of this layer. So the parameters here are always either 100 or 0%. So that means that when we're at 100 and forward, the sequence is actually going to be playing. So here the page would be turning, and let's move forward a bit, and boom, we're at 0. So in this portion we're actually allowing for a bit of time to read what's actually going on here, or watch the images and so forth. And what I have done is actually I put on some time remapping for the shadows, so that these would kind of follow each other, so the shadows won't play if the magazine is not turning pages. So I guess that makes sense. Can you change this? Yes, you can, but it's a little bit hard to do, because let's say you want to extend this pause of the magazine turning. You are absolutely right in assuming that you could just take these keyframes and move them over, so we'd have a longer pause there. But let me undo that. The big thing is that you can't just grab these guys, because what will happen is that you are messing up the animation for later stuff happening. So if you want to insert a longer pause here, you actually need to grab everything and move that. I hope that makes sense, because if not, you probably shouldn't be thinking about doing this. Okay. But if you do, one thing that you should also remember is that you will need to create, or at least edit, these camera animations also, because they won't really make any sense if you move all this. Let's just watch a few weird things happening here. Well, stuff can go wrong, that's all I'm saying. Well, basically, if you decide to edit the timing of this, you need to be aware that it's going to affect all the other layers. Alright. Okay, one last thing about this project is I think there's a bit of a problem with motion blur on element sequences. Let's see if I can find the motion blur stuff here. And I'm not too crazy about this ghosting stuff, so I kind of try not to use this. So an alternative would be using the CC force motion blur. Come on, there we go. It kind of does maybe the same thing, but I don't know, it's not a favorite of mine, so well, you can experiment. There's another option, but I think you may need to do some pre-comping for this. It's called time warp. I don't think it'll work, but now it won't, so let's undo that. So it's kind of a tricky subject, but tell you what, if you really need motion blur for this to work perfectly, there's some third-party options, and write me a message and we can take it from there. That's it. I hope this template lives up to your expectations, and check out my other stuff as well. Thanks. Bye.